Take 3. This is the third time I've attempted to push the record button. This time it's actually recording. The first 2 times it did not record, and I did not realize it until I was a few minutes into it. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin. This channel is for grieving parents who are trying desperately to find their new normal, to find that they're not alone. For me not to say I know how you feel, because don't tell me you know how I feel, because you don't. I'll just punch you. I'm still in the anger phase. Anyways, I wanted to talk today about the parents who throw the phrase around, I don't know what I would do if my child died. I would die if my child died. I did die. I died. I died that night. The person I was before that night is gone. She is gone for good. Sometimes I miss her. Sometimes I don't. She used to find joy in everything. It takes a lot of work to find joy for me now. I do have joy. Don't get me wrong. I find joy. I have found love. I have happy moments. But all of that is mixed in with a whole lot of guilt and grief because my son doesn't get to live this life and find joy and find love. And I know there are people out there who are watching this video who are thinking or even saying out loud, he's in heaven. He is surrounded by nothing but love and joy. That's all he feels is love and joy. I believe that too. But he's not here to find love and joy here. And that's me being selfish. I know that he was on loan. I know that he was not mine to keep. It was my job to rear him into a decent human being. And Joey was a decent human being. He liked his girls. But he was a decent human being. He had a love in his heart. A lot of love. Joey was difficult when he was little. Joey was kicked out of every daycare he ever went to. He was hyperactive. He was brilliant and got bored easily. And he got kicked out of every daycare he ever went to. And Lisa, if you're watching this, doll, I love you. I love you more than you'll ever know. Joey loved you. You loved Joey like he was yours. He loved you like you were his. We all love you. She was the one who could handle Joey. But anyways, back to the parents who throw these phrases around. No, as a grown-up and you have a child and you think the worst case scenario, oh my God, what would I do if my child died? It doesn't matter if you lose a child in utero or a child to SIDS or a toddler to cancer or an older child in any way, accident, cancer, whatever, even if it's an adult child. I've lost a child in utero, a little boy before Joey. It was devastating. Devastating. I was never going to get to hold this life that I was cultivating inside of me. I was never going to get to see what he looked like. I was never going to get to see what he would become. Joey, I got to see him almost come to fruition. I got to see him start to figure it out. He was so close to figuring it out. And I died. I still die. I'm dying slowly. And I know everybody on the planet is dying slowly. We all die. It's what we do. But I'm dying in a different way. My soul is exhausted. My soul is dying. I want to be where my son is. And that's hard because I want to be where my daughter is and she's here. I want to be where my granddaughters are and they're here. But I so desperately want to be where my boy is. I lay down at night and I die over and over and over again at night. Joey was in a car accident. His car burnt out because he got hit by a semi-truck. His death certificate states that he died of thermal burns and smoke inhalation. I've been reassured by multiple doctors who said that Joey could not have possibly survived the impact. It would have broken his neck and he would have died instantly. And that after we die, it's a reflex to take about 3 breaths after we die. So that would explain the smoke in his lungs. It doesn't matter what a doctor tells me. It doesn't matter what experts who researched the accident tell me. It doesn't matter, because I will never truly know that my son didn't suffer, that my son didn't burn alive. I lay down at night and I die over and over and over again because I picture my son in a car panicking, trying to get out and succumbing. And that is, I don't know how to explain it, that is the hardest part of surviving. Any little bit of me that survived, that's the hardest part. It was hard that he died. It was hard to know that I'm here and he doesn't get to experience this life anymore. So I'm going through the stages of grief 5 years later. Any of you who are just starting your journey, I love you. I don't know how you feel, but I do know that your stages of grief are not in any specific order. You are all over the place. Think of a toddler coloring on the page of a coloring book. The 4 corners in the center are the 5 stages that you go through. And the toddler is all over that page, corner to corner, center to corner, everywhere. That is how the stages of grief go. And you can still visit each stage while remaining in one of the other stages. Picture that toddler coloring with a crayon in both hands, coloring. But they realize their hands are getting tired and they stop with one and they keep going. You're stuck here, but you're still visiting all of the other stages. I've been stuck in quite a few. I was stuck in bargaining for the couple of days that it took to identify Joey. I bargained that it was someone who mugged him and stole his car, and that he was just actually knocked out unconscious on the side of the road somewhere, that he didn't know who he was. I bargained that they were wrong. I bargained for God to take me instead. I bargained for God to take other people instead. I ain't gonna lie. That's true. I've been stuck in anger for a long time. I go to counseling, and I get depressed, and I come out of depression. I go into acceptance, and I come back out of acceptance. I visit bargaining still once in a while. Let him knock on my door and tell me it was a joke. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I will be pissed, but I would be overjoyed. But I'm still in anger while I'm visiting all these places. I'm still angry that the car wasn't checked out prior to my son trying to buy it. And part of that's on me. As his parent, I should have said, let's go get this car checked out before you buy it. Part of me, a big part of me, is angry at the 911 operator who told him to get back in his car because he was safe and alive on the side of the road. I'm angry at her. I'm angry that she just got fired and now she's off living her life. I'm very angry at the truck driver because 1,800 and some odd cars went around Joey. They saw him. They went around him. He was safe. But this truck driver was bound and determined to go from the far left lane to the far right lane quickly. I am angry that I've not received an apology from him in any way, shape, or form. I am angry that he got to go home to his children. I've seen his Facebook. I know who he is. I'm very angry that he gets to go home and he gets to hug his children when he took mine away from me. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. I don't know that I can forgive either of those people because I'm stuck in anger. I'm about to go hip deep in depression because his anniversary is coming up and his birthday's coming up. Joey died on October 24th, 2014. His funeral was October 29th, 2014, the day before my daughter's birthday. I pushed for things to go fast so we could get it done before that day. Joey's birthday is November 15th, 1995. Then we have Thanksgiving. And then we have Christmas. 2 really big holidays revolving around family. I'm angry that my son is not going to be here. I am angry that I cannot spoil my son. I'm angry that I don't know what he would be like. I don't know if he would be a dad, be in college, he'd be working, I don't know what he would be doing, and I'm mad and I'm angry that I'm never going to know. I don't bargain as much anymore, but I still do once in a while. Acceptance is really hard for me. There are days that I accept it, but I'm stuck in depression when I have those days. I'm stuck in anger when I have those days. The stages of grief are never individual. They're never in succession. They're all over the place. I don't know how long they last. I'm assuming they're going to last the rest of my life because they've lasted 5 years just as strong as they were the first year. I was just more numb then. Dealing with it day to day, I think of Joey at least 10 times an hour. At least. Everything reminds me of Joey. I see Joey in the faces of young men. I see him where other people don't. I'll be like, oh my gosh, that looks just like Joey. And people will be like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I see Joey everywhere. I see him everywhere. I'll watch television and something will remind me of Joey or something that Joey would have found funny. A song comes on the radio that I know is Joey's favorite. A song that Joey would learn to sing for me would come on the radio. I see my granddaughters and I know that he would have doted over his nieces. He would have been absolutely insanely in love with them. The stages of grief are insurmountable, but there's only 5 or 7 depending on the train of thought you believe in. They're insurmountable, they're heavy. People who don't know you don't understand what you're carrying. If you've ever seen Billy Crystal's one-man show, 700 Sundays, it's a show about him talking about the fact that he had 700 Sundays with his dad before he passed away. He was 14 when his dad passed away. And he went to school carrying a boulder. You had to push it. Every step you take, you have to push it. And I think that is one of the best analogies of going through grief. The boulder gets smaller, but it's always there. I can't tell you if it's going to go away. I've never been in grief longer than nearly 5 years. It's really heavy, and people don't know you, don't know what you're carrying. They don't know how to read you, or they read you wrong. They don't realize that you're looking at every face, hoping to see Joey or your loved one. I'm looking at every face, searching for Joey. Not because I want them to be him, but I want every possible second that I can get that makes me find joy in the thought of my child. So, I was going to go through the stages of grief individually, but because of the fact that they really aren't individual, they're kind of meshed together. They really aren't in succession. You don't get out of it after you've graduated from one stage to the next. Unlike growing up, you graduate from one stage and you move on to the next, and you graduate from that and you move on. Stage of grief, they do not work that way. They don't. I don't think there's anybody, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure, 99.9% sure that there's nobody who's gone through grief and graduated from one stage to the next and then they got out. Pretty sure. So that's it for today. I don't know when I'll be out here again, but next time we'll talk a little bit more about handling the grief as we get closer to his angelversary. And I'm going to be with you guys through this year. This will be the first time that I have opened myself up. I'm hoping that I can open myself up and share the grieving process and the new normal with going through Joey's 5th angelversary, his 24th birthday, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I hope you guys will come back. I know this is really sad and this is really depressing, but if you're looking for someone who's going through something similar, you need to know that you're not alone feeling like you're crazy in your head, because I'm crazy. I died that night and a crazy person emerged, and I'm going to own it because my child died. Now I'm crazy. You can be too. Thanks for coming. I will see you guys next time.